It doesn't matter if you're a CEO, a student, a parent, or a coworker. You have something that is incredibly powerful, and that's your influence. Today, we're going to unpack what it really means to be a steward of that influence, and we'll explore this amazing idea that we are saved to shine and called to bless. So let's just jump right in and make this personal. I want you to think for a second. Who's in your orbit? Your family, your friends, the people you work with, even the people you bump into online. Who is watching your life and hearing your words? Go ahead, just take a second and picture them. Okay, you got that picture in your head? Well, hold on to it. Because here's the thing. Your influence is almost certainly way bigger than you think. It's kind of like a ripple in a pond, right? It just keeps spreading out way beyond what we can see, touching lives we might not even know about. See, influence isn't just for the people with a big platform, the pastors, the famous speakers, the social media stars. It's not about being on a stage. Not at all. It's something that every single one of us carries with us every single day. And just look at who this includes. Are you a parent? Well, you're shaping a young life. You've got influence. A coworker. Your attitude can literally set the tone for the entire team. That's influence. A student, a church member, a neighbor, it all boils down to this. If someone else sees your life, you have influence. Period. It's that simple.
And this whole idea, it's not new. It's ancient. It comes from this foundational teaching in Matthew. The instruction is super clear. Let your light shine where people can see it through what you do. But notice the goal here. It's not just about being seen. The whole point is so that others see that good and it points them back to God.
So how in the world do we get our heads around such a big responsibility? Well, there's a really cool framework for this, a totally new way to look at your influence called entrusted visibility. Okay, let's break that down. Influence is entrusted visibility. What that means is the very fact that people can see you, your actions, your character, your attitude. That visibility is a trust. It's been given to you. It's not something you just own. And that connects perfectly to this idea of stewardship. Think of stewardship as borrowed authority. So when you put those two ideas together, you get this amazing picture. Our visible life is a borrowed authority, something that's been entrusted to us to manage well. The bottom line is, it's not ours to just do whatever we want with. And this whole idea of stewardship gets even more serious when you consider the belief that our lives are actually part of a final, crucial witness to the world. From this perspective, how we live our lives isn't just about us anymore. It becomes a living, breathing testimony. Okay, but what's the standard here? What should this witness, our influence, actually look like to the people watching us? Well, the answer is just beautiful and it's simple. The goal is to be a loving and a lovable witness. This quote from Ellen White just nails it. Think about that. The strongest argument for faith. It's not some brilliant speech or a flawless theological takedown. Nope, it's a person. A person who is both loving and lovable. That is the kind of influence that really cuts through the noise. And here is the most freeing part of this whole idea. The call isn't to be a perfect Christian. The standard isn't flawlessness, thank goodness. It's to be a loving one. It's all about grace and kindness and having a genuine care for people, even when we mess up. So this all brings us back to a really deep personal question we have to ask ourselves. If our lives are a witness, if we are the strongest argument, then what is my life saying about my God? What kind of picture am I painting for the people who are watching me? Okay, so let's get practical. Let's bring this down from the clouds into our real everyday lives. Where does this light actually shine? Well, it's in all those small, daily moments that the stewardship of our influence really happens. Just let the weight of that sink in for a minute. For a lot of people in your life, you are the only Bible they will ever read. Your actions, how you respond to things, your integrity, that's the text they're studying. And this plays out absolutely everywhere. At work, your integrity shines when you choose to be honest, even when it's hard. At home, your patience shines when you respond to all the chaos with a bit of calm. In your community, your commitment to unity shines brighter than any silly disagreement. And yeah, even online, your responsibility shines in how you talk to people and what you share. And this right here, this is where the stakes get incredibly high. Because that same moment at work where integrity could have shined, a tiny lie can shatter trust. That moment at home where you needed patience, a flash of anger can create a real wound. The way we manage our visibility, it either builds people's faith up
or it tears it down. There was really no middle ground. Which brings us to the ultimate point behind all of this. Why? Why were we given this influence in the first place? The answer is simple. It's beautiful. We are saved to shine, and we are called to bless. Let's look at that first part, saved to shine. What this means is that through Christ, a light has literally been placed inside of you. It's a gift. It's not something you created or earned. It's just a reflection of Him. And that second part, called to bless, well, that gives the light its purpose, its direction. It's not supposed to be hidden away or kept to yourself. That light has a mission to go out into the world and be a blessing to other people, to light up their paths and point them toward hope. So, as we wrap up here, let's go all the way back to that first question. What is your influence? Now we know it's an entrusted visibility, it's a borrowed authority. So the real question isn't if you have influence, but how are you going to steward it? So steward it well. Use it to build up, to encourage, and to love. Because in the end, you were saved to shine, and you were called to bless.